time. Escapes. Goes to the end zone. It's Williams there, and he makes the grab.
Hey everyone, it's your Commish here bringing you a Week 10 recap here between myself and Steve. Steve won this one running away, laughing away at me, especially after that game on Sunday Night Football where Mahomes has completely lit up my Raider defense. Had probably his best game of the season, of course, because it was against the Raiders. He has best game of the season, right? So he completely destroyed the defense and put all of my hopes of even pulling out a backdoor cover win to bed early. So even when I was putting in that, the Monday Night Madness, I knew I had no chance to win. So Steve, congrats to you, man! Big time win. To see how you crushed me here. Dak Prescott came up big for me in the early morning games. Though got me 296 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also had 5 yards rushing and a touchdown. So he gave me a nice. So he gave me some hope early that maybe I could have a nice day. But those quickly dashed. But on the other side here, like I said, Mahomes 48.24 points, went completely bonkers on Sunday Night Football. 406 yards, 5 touchdowns. Didn't even have to run the ball because he had pressure, but it wasn't like something where he had to evade and run out of the pocket. He just was staying back there and dotting up the Raiders. So hurt my heart to see in more ways than one. Obviously, crushed my fantasy team and my real team. And then right here, no Kamara for these past weeks. I had to play Ty Johnson. Got me 6.3 points. Mostly got all his yards in the receiving game, 5 catches, 36 yards, but nothing really spectacular he got from me there. Najee Harris had a fantastic game for you, Steve. 26 carries, 105 yards. Also had 4 catches for 28 yards. So I had a very nice game for someone who didn't even need a touchdown to give you nice numbers. So that's a nice luxury there for you. Austin Eckler got me 11 carries, 44 yards. Threw in another 3 catches for 15 yards and a touchdown. So gave me a pretty decent score there. I mean, I expected more because he's been like the RB 2 or 3, I think, on the season here in half PPR. So I'm hoping he gets me more of those 18, 19, 20 point games. But 13 is then I'll definitely take it most weeks, even though it didn't help me this week. Aaron Jones went out of this game with an injury, but not before he had 10.6 points. Had 4 catches, 61 yards. So he was happy to have Aaron Rodgers back for sure because he got no targets really with Jordan Love in the game. So we at least with Rodgers, he was able to get targeted in the receiving game. Looks like you might miss here a week or two for you, Steve, but I think you have some pretty decent running back depth that you've traded for recently that should help get you by. DK Metcalf had one of his worst games of the season, had 3 catches, 26 yards for me. He did not go Donkey Kong for me this week, unfortunately. So rough go for the whole Seattle offense. They could not get it going. Russ did not cook. He pretty much burned down the kitchen is what it sounds like. He attempted to cook, but it just nothing was happening well. Curtains were on fire. The fire department had to come out and put out the blaze. It was completely awful for Russ and the Seahawks offense during the game. So but on the opposite side here, Justin Jefferson had 18.4 points, 9 catches, 143 yards. He's really been turning it on here for you, Steve, the last couple of weeks, catching some more deep balls from Captain Kirk. Amari Cooper had 4 catches, 51 yards, very average game, nothing spectacular at all. So I didn't get much from help from my receivers this week. Cortland Sutton had 3.9 points, only had 2 catches, 29 yards. So he definitely did not blow up in this game either. Pat Fryermuth, I think there's a term to say the muth is Luth, so it's almost like you have to speak his name with a lisp. That they're only 3.6 points. Had a costly fumble in that shocking tie against the Lions. So he was kind of the scapegoat there for why they couldn't at least win the game, but he didn't get me very solid fantasy numbers either. TJ Hawkinson, though, only had 1 target that whole game in that same game that Fryermuth played in. 0.0 for the Hawk. Very shocking. Goff could not find him at all. Didn't even look his way. 1 target. I'm surprised by that. George Kittle, who I've since traded away to Ross for the Walrus. Didn't leave my roster without giving me a nice, solid exit game, though. Got me 50 yards and a touchdown. Very happy with that. And then Michael Carter, he's definitely taken over ownership in that backfield for the Jets. I was hoping that Ty Johnson could maybe steal a touchdown there, but from him. But no, Michael Carter was just eating up the touches. Had a nice 1 yard run for a touchdown. Also had 4 catches for 43 yards. So, yeah, very solid performance there by Michael Carter. Tyler Bass got me 9 points. He's been probably one of my more consistent players. One of the best kickers in fantasy. Got me 9 points, like I said. So, very solid production. And also Dustin Hopkins for the Chargers. Also having a very nice season there. The Chargers finally might have found themselves a stable kicker. Who knows? But he got 8 points there. And then finally, the Ram defense only got me 1 point to say against the Niners, who completely ran all over them. The Niners just have the Rams number for some reason. It's like every time they play, Shanahan just outwits McVay, and they just out physical them too. It's almost like the Niners are the Rams kryptonite for some reason. And then the Ravens had 6 points for you, Steve. Very nice. Who I think are now off your roster, but still decent day for them. So all in all, Steve, very nice win. You get the 500, 5-5. Your playoff hopes are still well intact. And myself, I'm on like a 2-game losing streak, trying to lick my wounds here, trying to overcome a few injuries and try to shake up the roster here a little bit and get my momentum back, get my mojo back. Losing some mojo here. So best luck to you this coming week, Steve.